Welcome to the We Can Fix Climate Change podcast. In today's episode, we'll cover the top greenhouse gas emitters in the U.S., the benefits of electrification in cutting global energy demand, the dominance of trucks and SUVs in sales, and the impact on emissions, the need for transformation in the food system due to its contribution to climate change, the importance of reducing food waste and supporting businesses addressing the issue, and the concerning projections regarding the remaining carbon budget for the Paris Agreement goals. Please subscribe to get our podcast each and every week.
The top 10 emitters of greenhouse gases accounted for 22% of total U.S. emissions, showcasing the significant contribution of these entities to the overall emissions landscape. Among them, notable emitters of specific gases included U.S. Steel Corporation Gary Works, which primarily releases emissions associated with the iron and steel industry. Other prominent emitters include ExxonMobil's Baytown complex, known for its refineries, and Chevron's Pascagoula refinery, which is involved in petrochemical production. It is important to note that this data encompasses emissions from 7,586 industrial facilities across various sectors of the economy, providing a comprehensive overview of emissions sources. This dataset is representative of approximately half of all U.S. emissions, underlining the scale and scope of the emissions challenge. Nevertheless, there is room for positive change. One example is the Pedal Gas Storage Compressor Station in Mississippi. Previously, this underground natural gas storage facility ranked among the highest emitters of methane, a potent greenhouse gas. The facility managed to reduce its methane emissions by an impressive 91% between 2018 and 2022. As a result, it has successfully transitioned off this year's list of top emitters among gas storage sites. This case demonstrates that emissions reductions are indeed achievable, even for significant emitters, and underscores the potential for progress in addressing climate change.
According to a recent study conducted by a sustainability expert, electrification has emerged as the most effective means of utilizing energy and showcases immense potential in reducing global energy demand by up to 60%. The study highlights that the utilization of electric appliances and devices presents a significantly enhanced level of efficiency compared to their gas-powered counterparts. For instance, electric heat pumps demonstrate an efficiency level that is 2 to 3 times greater than that of gas furnaces. The adoption of electrification can yield various additional advantages. It holds the capability to diminish air pollution, enhance public health, and foster job creation. By shifting to electric alternatives, we can significantly mitigate the release of harmful emissions, leading to a cleaner and healthier environment for all. And the widespread implementation of electrification is expected to generate new employment opportunities, bolstering economic growth in the process.
Trucks and SUVs are the best-selling vehicles in most U.S. states, with the Ford F-Series being the most popular overall. California is the only state where a car, the Tesla Model Y, is the best-selling vehicle. What's the best-selling vehicle in your state? Check the link in our description box to find out.
A recent report brought to light by D-Smog has shed light on the concerning reality that the food system is heavily dependent on fossil fuels. This addiction to fossil fuels is not only exacerbating the issue of climate change, but also posing a serious threat to human health. The report underscores the pervasive use of fossil fuels throughout the entire food supply chain. From production to transportation, processing to consumption, fossil fuels play an integral role at each stage. This reliance on fossil fuels contributes significantly to climate change and poses a hazard to human well-being. Remarkably, the food system accounts for a quarter of global greenhouse gas emissions. It extensively employs fossil fuels to power farm machinery, manufacture fertilizers and pesticides, and facilitate long-distance food transportation. Furthermore, the production and processing of food produce substantial amounts of methane, a potent greenhouse gas. The study also reveals that the food system is a significant source of air and water pollution. Farm machinery and food processing plants, both dependent on fossil fuels, emit pollutants that have been linked to respiratory problems, heart disease, and even cancer. Apart from the environmental repercussions, the food system's addiction to fossil fuels bears adverse effects on human health. Ultra-processed foods are notorious for their high levels of unhealthy fats, sugar, and salt. These processed foods constitute a major contributor to the escalating rates of obesity, heart disease, and other chronic ailments. In light of these findings, the report strongly advocates for a transformative approach to the food system, one that diminishes its reliance on fossil fuels. This necessitates a shift towards sustainable farming practices, curbing food waste, and adopting a reduced meat consumption pattern.
Food waste in landfills contributes significantly to methane emissions, a greenhouse gas that is even more potent than carbon dioxide. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, approximately 18% of methane emissions in the U.S. can be attributed to food waste. Methane, being a potent greenhouse gas, plays a crucial role in climate change. When food waste decomposes in landfills, it produces methane and other greenhouse gases. These gases are then released into the atmosphere, where they trap heat and exacerbate climate change. Apart from its environmental impacts, food waste also represents a wasteful use of resources. The amount of food wasted in the U.S. annually could potentially feed 200 million people. There are various strategies that can be implemented to reduce food waste. One approach is composting food scraps at home, which not only diverts waste from landfills, but also creates nutrient-rich soil for gardening. Additionally, donating excess food to food banks helps redirect edible items to those in need. Furthermore, being mindful of our meal planning and consumption habits can help us avoid buying more food than necessary, thereby decreasing food waste. Supporting businesses that actively work to reduce food waste is another way individuals can contribute to this cause. By patronizing these organizations, we generate demand for sustainable practices and assist in driving positive change.
In our final segment, we will be discussing a recent study published in Nature Climate Change that focuses on the remaining carbon budget. The RCB refers to the net amount of CO2 that can still be emitted without surpassing a specific global warming limit. This metric is crucial in evaluating political actions in relation to the goals set by the Paris Agreement. The study highlights that the RCB estimates for a 1.5 degrees Celsius increase are relatively small. Even minor adjustments in the calculations can result in significant changes. To enhance the accuracy of these estimates, the authors of the study assessed recent RCB evaluations by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and incorporated more recent data, refined calculations, and robustness checks. As of January 2023, the RCB for a 50% chance of limiting warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius is approximately 250 gigatons of carbon dioxide. To provide perspective, this is equivalent to approximately 6 years of current CO2 emissions. For a 50% chance of limiting warming to 2 degrees Celsius, the RCB is estimated to be around 1,200 gigatons of carbon dioxide. There are several key uncertainties that influence these RCB estimates. One significant uncertainty relates to the contribution of non-CO2 emissions, which depends on both socioeconomic projections and geophysical uncertainty. Additionally, there is uncertainty surrounding the potential warming that may occur even after achieving net zero CO2 emissions. These complexities emphasize the importance of accurately calculating and monitoring the RCB. In summary, our current trajectory is not aligned with the targets outlined in the Paris Agreement. There appears to be no clear plan or momentum to attain these goals in time. We anticipate further discussion of these challenges during and after the upcoming COP28 meeting in Dubai.
In today's episode, we explored the top 10 emitters in the U.S., the potential benefits of electrification, the dominance of trucks and SUVs in sales, the need for a transformation in the food system, the impact of food waste on climate change, a sustainable alternative to air conditioners, and the urgency of meeting the Paris Agreement targets. Thank you for tuning in to the We Can Fix Climate Change podcast. As always, don't forget to subscribe, share this podcast with your friends, and visit all our social media channels. And consider checking out our newsletter with more stories and links at Substack. Links are, as always, in the description box. See you next week.